Wondering if the Enthusiast Play Kit from Lovevery is worth it? I'm going to share an unboxing of the items, personal experience using it, Amazon dupes, financial worth, and actual use out of it worth. This ships from 28, 29, and 30 months, and I did introduce it a little bit earlier than the recommended age. If you guys are new here, my name is Rachel from the Confused Millennial. I've been reviewing all of Lovevery's play kits since the beginning. I also have some Lovevery vs. KiwiCo reviews from my initial impressions to now that I have finished the KiwiCo Panda Crate. I will leave links to all of those playlists and videos in the description box, plus links to all of the Amazon dupes I mentioned. Alright, so let's get into this play kit. The biggest item that comes in this play kit is the Every Which Way scale and pails. This is basically teaching some early STEM lessons in balancing and measurement, and it has two little sliders at the top to help you calibrate the scales, and it's just really high quality, super nice, rich, heavy wood, and the tin pails have a great weight and are super durable. As far as our personal experience, this was the item that my daughter immediately gravitated towards. It was the one she played with the most the first day I gave her the items, but throughout that initial week, her interest in it definitely began to wane, and I think that has to do with her age. When I gave it to her, she would just kind of take a bunch of puzzle pieces and put them all into one of the pails. She didn't really get the concept of balancing, even when I would try to show her. I think this is definitely an item that will grow more with her as time goes on. As far as for this age, I love that the pail handles fit into these little grooves, which offer a fine motor refinement activity in itself. My daughter definitely enjoyed working on that. This is an item I am personally thrilled to have in our house. Really see us getting the most use out of this item as she moves further into the preschool years and even into the elementary school years, because we do plan to homeschool for elementary school. And as far as the Amazon dupes for this go, there are three that I found. They're between $20 and $30. The $30 one is definitely the one I like the most, and potentially even more than Lovevery's. Similar in that it's a wooden frame with metal weigh pails, but why I like it potentially more than Lovevery's is that it actually comes with weights. The whole weigh scale is actually half of a Montessori activity, and I would say this is my biggest disappointment with this item, is that Lovevery didn't provide the actual weights to finish the activity of going through weighing cylinder puzzle pieces. So that's why I think that dupe does beat Lovevery's, but again, I haven't actually picked that up. I haven't actually felt the weight of it. I don't know how sturdy it is. Lovevery's, I can tell you, is amazingly made, and a lot of those other dupes I found had a ton of complaints that the pails would fall off once you put an item in, that they weren't properly calibrated, all sorts of issues in those cheaper dupes. I will say, like, as far as quality goes, you're going to get what you pay for on that front. The next item in this play kit is the sort and stack peg puzzle. This is teaching basic shapes while your toddler works on some fine motor skills of flipping them and fitting them into the different pegs. As far as our personal experience with the puzzle, this was one my daughter had zero interest in when I initially opened the box for her. Did not touch it at all that first week. I would constantly play with it next to her, but she really had no interest in touching it. Finally, I just handed it to her one day and said, "Do you want to do this puzzle?" I had put all of the puzzle pieces into a basket, gave her just the peg wooden board thing, and she did it in a few minutes. She did it a few more times after that, but she mastered it pretty much on her first go. Like I said in my helper play kit review, I have not really found many puzzles that have challenged her lately or engaged her. I think that also has to do with the fact that she is very much in the Montessori sensitive periods for language and grace and courtesy right now. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with Montessori sensitive periods, make sure to hit that notification and subscribe button, because I have an entire series explaining them, giving you guys activity ideas to do within them, how to spot them, how to navigate them, all sorts of stuff coming out in the next few weeks that you won't want to miss. But I think that also has to do with part of her lack of interest in puzzles right now. So it's not that this is a bad puzzle by any means. You can get an Amazon dupe for it for just $13 online, and it is one I personally would have introducing closer to a year, not at 28 months like this play kit ships at. The next item in this play kit is the Pinkies Up picnic set, or tea set as I prefer to call it, because it's really a tea kettle set. What it comes with are some organic liddens, a little placemat, a couple of napkins, 2 tin cups, 2 tin plates, and a tin tea kettle. These are super cute and it comes in a little carrying box. When you open it, it does seem small, but it really is the perfect size for toddlers. My daughter was able to carry this by herself to the park without getting tired. It's very good size for her. Now, with that said, before she started wanting to carry this to the park with her, I thought this was the biggest dud in the play kit. She had even less interest touching this item than she had with the puzzle. I put it out for her so many times and never once did she ever try to open the box. She had zero interest in opening this box for some reason. And it wasn't until I finally said to her around 28 months, hey, do you want to have a picnic today at the park? And she said yes. And I said, okay, let me go get the picnic basket, that she fell in love with it. She thought, Inks, it is the greatest thing in the world. And I am not exaggerating when I say we spent 6 hours having a picnic that day. She had a picnic before her nap and after her nap. The next day, 4 hours having a picnic. Hours were spent over the next weeks daily. She's obsessed with it. I personally really love about this is it presented a new challenge for her. My daughter has been able to pour back and forth for well over a year. That was not a new skill for her. But what was a new skill for her that I had never thought about before, the volume the tea kettle can hold of liquid was much greater than the volume of the cups that come with this set. When she would go to pour the water from her tea kettle into the cups, it would very easily overflow. And it took her like an hour to really figure out how to stop pouring, because she would just keep pouring and it would just keep overflowing and overflowing. I'm like, what are you doing? Eventually she was able to learn how to spot when to stop a fill line so that the cups didn't overflow. She got a ton of practice cleaning up messes. Like I said before about her being in the Montessori sensitive period for grace and courtesy, which is essentially social skills and manners. She really is loving this entire set, the grace and manners that come with it, dabbing her little mouth clean with the napkins, cleaning up the messes, the whole setup. This is a fantastic item for this age range in my opinion and experience. As far as Amazon dupes for this item, there's this $30 one that is probably the most similar to Lovevery's. It is a porcelain tea set. It's not necessarily as durable as the tin Lovevery used. It is in alignment with Montessori. We also loved using Lovevery's new picnic blanket that they just came out with the picnic tea set at the park. My daughter had a blast rolling this out. It's so beautiful. Setting everything up. She is here for it. The next item that comes in this play kit is the Squeaky Clean Squeegee set. It's a child-sized squeegee and a child-sized squirt bottle. This was right out the gate one of the biggest winners from this play kit. The picnic set ended up being a surprise sleeper winner, but this one pretty much day one, my daughter was obsessed with it. Playing with it for hours that first week. Literally every time I would turn around, she was climbing on a new surface to reach a new window to clean it up, or a mirror, everything. She had so much fun with it. Unlike with the picnic set though, where that was hours for weeks, this was hours for the first week, and then it's something I definitely had to move into toy rotation to reinvigorate her love of it. So like after she hadn't seen it for about 6 weeks, she was all about it again. Amazon dupe for this, I actually think is a little bit nicer. It costs between $10 and $20 depending on sales or retailers that you get it from. I will leave a link to all the different retailers so you guys can check all the different prices in the description box below. But that one is just more of a complete cleaning set. The next item in this play kit was also a huge one, which was the gluing set. Essentially, your toddler will just take the brush, dip it in the little canister, and practice gluing the shapes onto a piece of paper or wherever. This was another pretty much almost out the gate huge hit. And much like the picnic set, it provided hours of engagement for weeks. She had such a blast with it. The reason I love it is that there's so many activities you can do with it as your toddler gets older. So actually going ahead and drawing different pictures or the shapes onto a piece of paper. So like tracing an orange triangle and then having them glue the orange triangle from this into it. You could also draw different animals as if the shapes were tangram puzzles and have them kind of have to put that together, only they glue it together instead of doing a traditional tangram puzzle. Like a lot of different things you can do with the gluing set. I love how open-ended this is for this age range. And then we can obviously make it a bit more structured as the skills get refined and as she gets older. When I first looked at this play kit, the Enthusiast and the Helper play kit, I was kind of disappointed because they offered some activities. The last one was the tempera paint sticks, this one being the glue set, that you would eventually use up. We're gonna have to restock them. And I didn't love the idea of spending $120 on a play kit that the items wouldn't last us forever. I will say that I knew gluing sets like this were a very popular Montessori activity, but I was not going to prioritize cutting up a bunch of shapes or doing this with my toddler. But then to see how engaged she was with it and how much she loved it, it is something that when we do run out of the shapes, I will be pulling my Cricut out, cutting up a bunch of new ones, refilling the box, and definitely be doing again and again. And this was a huge hit. One of the items I thought I was going to be the most disappointed in ended up being both mine and my daughter's absolute favorite. As far as Amazon dupes for this go, that one is going to be $40 on there, made from slightly higher quality products. It comes with a wooden box and a glass gluing jar, but you could obviously recreate a gluing set like this for like under $10. The book that comes in this play kit is My Favorite Nature Buddy. Super great book about a granddaughter and her grandpa going around nature for the day. They spot tons of different insects and animals. It kind of has like an I Spy feature at the end of the book. And my daughter enjoyed finding the animals throughout the book. And of course, as far as Amazon dupes for this go, there are tons of Montessori aligned books using real animals that you can play I Spy games with that range anywhere from $8 to $12. I'll leave a link to a couple that I like in the description box below. And as always, all of Lovevery's play kits come with a little play guide, explaining the items to you, the research behind them, giving you more ways to play with both the items and just activities to do during this stage of their life. That's always really helpful. I like to think of it as the Spark Notes for parents. As far as whether or not the Enthusiast play kit is worth it, financially speaking, kind of hard to say. Depending on which of the dupes you choose, you could spend as little as $85 to recreate this play kit, or you could spend as much as $150. Can be recreated at quite a bit less, but you are potentially going to lose out on some of the quality of the item depending on which ones you're opting for. And as far as my personal opinion and experience with this play kit, when I first looked at the 2 to 3 year old play kit range, this one was the one I was the least excited about. I thought it was the biggest loser, followed by the Helper. But I was shocked and pleasantly surprised by the amount of hours of engagement we got from this play kit. In that sense, it is a huge winner for us. I am so happy to be proven wrong. If you are still trying to figure out which play kit to skip for this year, saving money is like the #1 priority. I still would say skip this one because so much of it is activities that you can recreate for less. With that said though, I'm happy we have it. I have no regrets. Definitely, if you're looking to save yourself time and preparing those activities or having to find them, it's definitely the way to go. And make sure to hit that notification and subscribe button so you don't miss my review of the Investigator play kit for 31, 32, and 33 months. In the meantime, feel free to go back and check out my past Lovevery play kit reviews or my toddler activities playlist. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment below or hit me up on Instagram at @theconfusedmillennial. Till next time, have a good one.